Good evening, you're watching Breaking Views. I'm Rishika Baru. On the show tonight, we'll first ask the critical question. Will girls who choose to wear their hijab forever now have to make a choice between their future and their faith? As again today, 2 girls were turned away for refusing to take off their hijab. They didn't write the all-important board exam. Also on the show, we'll talk about the latest political standoff in Rajasthan with the Congress and BJP trading charges over a 200-year-old temple that has now been demolished, among homes and shops that were also demolished in the Alwar area. But first, tonight on the show, I want to begin by telling you about 2 young women, Alia Asadi and Reshma. One wants to become a wildlife photographer and one aspires to be an aircraft engineer. Today, they were not allowed to write the all-important Class 12 board exam or the pre-university exam as it is known in Karnataka because they refused to take off their hijab. The girls tried to convince their invigilators, we are told, and the college principal for about 45 minutes, but to no avail. They were finally seen quietly leaving the premises without writing the exam, of course, but even refusing to put what they were feeling at that moment into words. Take a look.
Are you not taking your exam? Are you not taking your exam? Are they not allowing you to take exam?
Ma'am, please, ma'am.
Are they allowing you to take exam? What is it?
No,
Are they allowing you to take exam? Have they asked you to remove the hijab, Alia?
On 13th of April, Alia Asadi had appealed to the Chief Minister. This is one of the girls you just saw on your screens. She tweeted to say, "You still have a chance to stop our future from getting ruined. You can make a decision to allow us to write our exams wearing a hijab. Please consider this. We are the future of this country." She tweeted with the hashtag Hijab is our right. The State Education Minister B.C. Nagesh, however, has made it categorically clear that students will not be allowed to take their exams if they choose to wear the hijab.
हिजाब का बारे में सरकार का सर्कुलर आ चुका है, हम लोग क्लियरली बोल चुका है, कोई एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर नहीं है, क्लासरूम में ही यूनिफॉर्म कहाँ है उधर यूनिफॉर्म से ही आना है और क्लासरूम में किसी तरह का रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिस फॉलो करने के लिए सरकार अवकाश नहीं देता है.
The Karnataka High Court had ordered on the 15th of March that there is absolutely no material placed on record to show that wearing of a hijab is an essential religious practice in Islam. Thus, they had upheld the ban. Last month, there were 40 Muslim girls who missed the pre-university exam. The question is, will these girls always have to choose between their faith and a future? Well, joining us on NDTV, we have we have with us Mihira Sood, lawyer of the Supreme Court. She's also the executive director of the Center for Child Rights and Juvenile Justice and a visiting professor of the National Law University in Delhi. And Dr. Saeed Nasir Hussain, he's a Rajya Sabha member of Parliament from the Congress party. Also joining us in just a moment will be Raghupati Bhatt. He's the BJP MLA from Udupi in Karnataka. Mihira Sood, to you first. The question that I began by asking is one that has troubled a lot of people, through the course of these Karnataka board exams. We've seen student after student and approximately about 50 students now who have, been turned away or not been able to write their board exams because they just refused to take off the hijab. Now, this is legal in Karnataka because this is the order of the Karnataka High Court, something that the establishment intends to uphold.
So, see, the thing is, as per the uniform orders, they have been worded in a way that is deliberately vague, and it says anything that can, upset law and order. And there is really no reason that a hijab should upset law and order unless the police is incapable of doing its job, right? Or is refusing to do its job. The Supreme Court has, as in the past as well, said that law and order, while maintaining law and order is important, it cannot be used as an excuse or a pretext to allow hooliganism and to allow discrimination or a violation of basic rights. You cannot cave in or capitulate to threats. So to say that a hijab is a threat to law and order, it can only be because of hooliganism against, people who wear the hijab. and that is something that should be punished, right? It cannot be used as an excuse. So to use that interpretation goes against the Supreme Court's own orders in previous cases like Rangarajan versus Union of India, right? So law and order pretext is very flimsy and ought not to stand up, stand up to any kind of judicial scrutiny.
So are you trying to say that the administration could take a different view and allow these girls to write the exam? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, they could take a different view. They could say that there is nothing, what does this thing say? It says that the uniform guidelines under which the hijab is being banned by institutions is that it is a threat to law and order.
Okay, let's
Now,
get
the
a
hijab
word.
by itself is not a threat to law and order.
Let's get
It's
a
only
word.
hooliganism
Let's get a
against
word
the
from
hijab
Mr.
that is a threat
Raghupati
to law and
Bhatt. He's the
order.
BJP MLA in Udupi. Mr. Bhatt, thanks very much for joining us on Breaking Views. I want to begin by asking you, so how do you look at this? How do you feel, when you see these girls who have, literally wasted all year? I mean, these are 12th class board exams. They've pretty much wasted all their education because they're not being allowed to write the exam now because they refuse to take off the hijab. How does this make you feel?
See, these girls are not interested in education. They want to create the issues in the society, nothing else. Otherwise, till yesterday, our college lecturers and principal used to call them to come to take the hall tickets. Till yesterday, 5:30 also they didn't come. Today morning, 9:30, they came to the girls' PU college and took the hall ticket. When taking the hall ticket also, our principal and lecturers clearly mentioned them, see, you have to remove the hijab and attend the examinations because the High Court order is there, and government also specifically mentioned that no hijab is allowed inside the examination room. So, these girls today morning 9:30 came to college, they removed their hijab and took the hall ticket, and our principal has been told them, see, if you go to examination center, there is a separate examination center, that is Vidyodaya College, there you have to remove the hijab and sit to the examination. They have been clearly mentioned. Again they went there to create a drama.
Sir,
to create a drama, they have done nothing. See, they have not attended the class, nothing.
Mr. Bhatt, if I can just interrupt you for a moment, because I think it's very unfair that you say that, these girls don't want a future. The two girls that we're talking about, I began telling their story by telling you that one wants to be a wildlife photographer and one wants to be an aircraft engineer. And this is not the story of two girls. There are 40 other Muslim girls who have missed this Karnataka board exam over the course of the last month. I know you want to come in, Mihira, but let me give a chance to Dr. Nasir. Dr. Nasir, do you want to respond to what Mr. Bhatt has to say, that, these girls are just out there as miscreants, they want to create unrest?
I would not get into what the order of the court says and what the government order says. It is as simple as this. Hijab or scarf, the wearing of scarf has been there in schools and colleges for a long time. We have been students in schools, colleges and universities. Everywhere there have been girls, not only from Muslim community, from other communities as well, who used to wear scarves. I think it was it was never a problem. Why is this all of a sudden when a few girls wanted to wear scarf? They are confusing hijab and scarf. I think I have spoken to a few girls of the college of which Mr. Raghuram Bhatt says. I spoke to the deputy commissioner and also to the principal there when this issue had come up. What they wanted to wear is a scarf in the class, not the entire burqa. I think that could have been allowed. It was as simple as that, and they could have resolved this issue at the level of that college itself. They wanted to make this issue. Then the president of the BJP, who happens to be the MP from Mangalore, he used very absurd and abusive language. Then the MP of Mysore, then the MLA from Bijapur, all BJP MLAs and MP.
What's the point you're trying to make, sir?
These are Talibans and all those things and all. These started and created a controversy. They wanted to polarize, they wanted to divide, they wanted to threaten and they wanted to
Mr.
avoid
Bhatt,
these girls
Mr.
from
Bhatt, the
education.
allegation
The
that the
whole
Congress
point-
party has
the whole
made
point-
time and time again about the hijab row has been that this is nothing but a bid to polarize. And in this bid to polarize, young girls' education is basically collateral damage.
See,
Mr. Bhatt, let Mr. Bhatt respond.
See, one thing clear. See, just see this photo. See, these three girls are same girls who have boycotted today. They have come on 7/12/2021 without hijab to the classroom. 1.5 years, these girls have come to the class without hijab in the classroom. When the 30th December, they come to know that they want hijab. So, see, this is not the thing that they have not,
Sir, I have not seen
attended
the
the class
said photograph
without
and
hijab
therefore
anytime.
cannot.
They have 1.5
I have
years in
not
the-
seen the said photograph and therefore cannot verify that.
Rishika,
But
can I
shouldn't
give-
it be a
No,
personal
one thing I'll
choice?
tell you.
Even if you want
See,
to wear a hijab on a set
and
day
one
and
and a
don't
half
want
year-
to wear one on a
one
set
and a
day,
half year
at the end of the day, it's not about the hijab. It's about empowering young girls with a choice to do or wear what they like. Mihira Sood.
I just
See,
want to say a couple of.
they should
No,
also
Mr. Bhatt,
know.
I would really. I'd like to
I'll
pose a
tell
few
you.
questions to you,
They
Mr.
should
Bhatt.
also
I would
know.
like to pose a few questions to you, Mr. Bhatt. One.
Yes.
Are we actually sitting here to discuss the intensity of religious feelings
me.
and how it should be consistent on every day? Can people not develop more religious feelings as they grow older or their views change? Is that not the essence of an individual conscience? Right? Or does it have to adhere to your standards? Right? That if they were
No,
not
no.
religious 2 years ago, how can they be religious now? Secondly,
See,
Mr. Bhatt,
what-
I would really like to ask you, let me ask you one question. Law and order is the alleged part of the fig leaf under which hijabs are being banned. Now, please let me ask you, if the situation were reversed, okay, and tomorrow there were Hindu students going to write their exams with tilaks, as is very often the case, right? Parents bless their children before exams and put one tilak. Is that not
what
common?
the
Now,
joke you are
please
talking?
answer my.
Hijab,
Let me
what
finish
is-
my question,
see,
Mr.
All
Bhatt.
right.
Let me finish my
Let
question,
Mr.
Mr.
Bhatt
Bhatt.
respond. Let Mr.
Please,
Bhatt respond.
if at that time,
You answer.
if at that time students of another community were to protest and indulge in hooliganism, who is creating the law and order
All
problem?
right,
The
Mr.
students
Bhatt,
wearing the
respond.
tilaks
There
or
are
the
two,
ones
three
who are
valid
indulging in
questions that
hooliganism and
Meera
not
Sood has
allowing them
raised.
to write
Respond to
things
that.
out? Where is the law and order
See, first
problem
of
being
all-
created, and where would the state government step in, and on whose side?
Sir, madam, first
Sir,
of,
respond to
first
her.
of all, that madam who talked, let them understand what is the meaning of uniform. This is the uniform we are
Is tilak
talking.
part of the uniform?
Bindis and
Is
bangles
tilak
are
part
not
of the
part of
uniform?
our
Does the
uniform.
uniform
So he's
say
saying
tilak?
bindis and bangles.
Shawl.
He's saying
In
bindis
our
and bangles are not a part of it
uniform.
either.
Please say yes or no, Mr.
That is
Bhatt.
weared in the shoulder. It is
Is
clearly
tilak
mentioned.
part of the
See,
uniform?
what the
Yes
food-
or no?
See,
Is
what is
tilak
the
part of
meaning
the
of the
uniform,
uniform?
Mr. Bhatt?
And one more thing. See, this is not the time to discuss these things. See, one
Why?
thing.
When
Please,
is the
please
time?
answer.
When is the time?
Hear me. This is the not time to discuss. Already it is
But
decided
Mr.
in
Bhatt,
the
when
court,
else is
High
the time
Court,
to discuss?
High Court,
You're depriving
it is
young girls
decided,
of a
verdict
future.
has
You're
come.
robbing them
Without
of their
hijab, you
future.
should write the,
How does that make you
See, in
feel?
the- in
These
the-
are
in the High
girls
Court,
from
it
your
is
own
clearly,
constituency, sir.
Mr.
decided
Bhatt,
that
is
there is
tilak
no
a part
hijab
of
is
the
allowed.
uniform?
And
Okay,
also
Meera
tilak
Sood,
a part of the
Meera Sood, let him
uniform?
answer.
Their
Let him
case
answer.
has been not
Mr.
taken
Bhatt,
to
that's
the
why I began
discussion.
by asking
See,
you, how does
understand,
this make you
Supreme
feel?
Court judge has told there is no comparison between hijab and exam. It has been
There is
clearly
no
told from the
comparison
Supreme Court
for
judge.
you, but
And
there
it
is
is
Okay, I'll ask
clearly,
you this.
the-
I'll ask you this.
The decision has come.
Mr. Raghupati Bhatt,
No
Mr. Raghupati
religious-
Bhatt, I'll ask you a simple
no
question.
religious
I'll ask you a simple
religious
question.
groups are allowed
What
inside
about-
the classroom
Is that
and
a legal argument, Mr.
examination
Raghupati
room.
Bhatt?
Then what is the?
Okay,
See,
let
you are
me ask
talking
you a
like
simple
it
question.
is
Let me ask you a
22nd
simple question. What about young Sikh boys who wear turbans to classrooms? How would you look at that? Would you say that that's not a part of uniform? Would you say that they should not be allowed to do that? You wouldn't, would you?
See, if the court order comes, we have to follow. Everybody should follow. Now these 6 girls, same girl who have protested today, they have gone to the court. In the court, the 16 days discussion, all Supreme Court lawyers have
Mr. Bhatt,
all they
we are
have
asking you your view,
argued,
not the
and
court's
lastly
view.
3 bench the judges have one Muslim judge was also there. They have given the verdict that
Dr. Nasir
the
wants to come in.
hijab is not
Very quickly,
allowed.
I have 10
Any
seconds.
religious
Excuse me, I
courts are
just-
not allowed.
I just
Then
want-
what?
Dr.
Now
Nasir,
what
I have 10
is the
seconds.
meaning of talking hijab want or not?
I just want to ask Mr. Bhatt whether the government order came first or the High Court order came first, and what was the basis for the judgment of the High
Mr.
Court
Bhatt,
order?
respond to that.
You can't
right now fire off the shoulders of the Karnataka High Court. Mr. Bhatt.
Huh?
I'll give you the last word. I'll give you the last word. You can't fire off the shoulders of the Karnataka High Court because it was you who first decided that this entry without hijab is what is going to be permitted.
It was the government order that came first.
See, what I am saying is that 6 girls are not part of our government. See, they are not from India. So, the Karnataka government has passed the order. The religious clothes are not allowed inside the classroom, inside the...
BJP government that passed the order first.
Well, unfortunately, I'm completely out of time on this conversation. Thank you all very much for joining us. Like I said, Mr. Bhatt, I began by asking you how you felt about this because everybody felt a lot of things today when we saw 2 girls being turned away from writing the all-important board exams only because they chose not to take off their hijab. We'll track that story very closely, but I want to now shift our focus to the other big story we're tracking tonight. From Karnataka, let's take you to the big political controversy that's unfolding in Rajasthan, where bulldozers are back. This time, it's not in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, not in Gujarat or Delhi, but it is in Rajasthan. And now there is a huge political controversy over the demolition of a temple, homes and shops in Rajasthan. A 300-year-old Shiva temple was demolished. 86 shops and homes were also demolished with bulldozers, and this all happened in Rajasthan's Alwar district on Sunday. Now, this was all done in a bid to clear the way for the road. The BJP, however, has accused the Congress government of creating a communal divide. The Congress, on the other hand, has said that the orders were passed by the local municipal council in the area, which is controlled by the BJP. There's also an FIR that's been filed against a local Congress MLA by the head priest of the temple. Let's listen in to both sides of the political story.
ये उन्हीं का फैसला था, सरकार का इसमें कोई लेना देना नहीं है। न तो सरकार से उन्होंने कोई डायरेक्शन मांगे, न सरकार ने उनको कोई डायरेक्शन दिए। मोटे तौर पर सरकार की तरफ से तो ये होता है कि जहां पर पूजा स्थल है, चाहे वो मंदिर हो चाहे मस्जिद हो, उसको हटाने के लिए 10 बार सोचना पड़ता है। न तो डायरेक्टर लोकल बॉडी से पूछा गया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का के कंट्रोल का वो राजगढ़ नगर पालिका का बोर्ड है जिसने सर्वसम्मति से ये फैसला किया और फैसला करने के बाद में जो है इस घटना को अंजाम दिया गया।
देखिए, पुराना आदेश था 2013 के अंदर गौरवपथ बनना था, गौरवपथ रुका, उसके बाद वापस नगर पालिका ने प्रस्ताव निस्संदेह पारित किया, पर नगर पालिका के प्रस्ताव पर उन्होंने अतिक्रमण हटाने की बात की, पर अतिक्रमण को चिन्हित करने का काम और अतिक्रमण को हटाने का काम, और ये काम सरकार का था, वहां के उपखंड अधिकारी का था, जो उन्होंने नहीं किया और बहरे में से सारे को तोड़ा गया। इसकी न्यायिक जांच हो जाए तो सारी बात सामने आ जाएगी।
All right, well, joining us on the broadcast, we have Mr. Balak Nath. He's the BJP Lok Sabha Member of Parliament from Alwar. In fact, he is currently making his way from the demolition site. He just visited the demolition site. We also have Swarnim Chaturvedi, spokesperson of the Rajasthan Congress. Swarnim Chaturvedi, to you first, because the BJP is accusing the Congress of demolishing a temple to create communal tensions. How would you respond?
Let me clarify first that all the activities, the demolition drive that was the demolition drive that was taking place, it was done by the Nagar Palika of Rajgarh. The Nagar Palika Rajgarh, it has a board of Bharatiya Janata Party. Bharatiya Janata Party is in majority. There is only one member of Congress in a board. So the 34 members of the Bharatiya Janata Party, they passed a resolution for widening of the roads and taking of the encroachments. They are responsible for this drive. Okay. And whatever happened, whatever encroachment has been demolished, it is being demolished by the Nagar Palika. That is BJP's Nagar Palika.
Let's get Mr. Balak Nath to respond to that. Mr. Balak Nath, the BJP is accusing the Congress of trying to create communal tensions through this demolition that is taking place on Sunday. But the Congress party is saying that it is the municipal council that's ordered it and that is controlled by you.
मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूंगा।
जी,
आपका
बिल्कुल।
सवाल मैं समझ गया हूँ, लेकिन यही तो दिक्कत है कि वहां पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी का बोर्ड है और अब से नहीं 35 वर्षों से है। और यहाँ की जो माननीय विधायक हैं और कांग्रेस सरकार है, ये परेशान है कि वहां पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हर बार राजगढ़ की जनता मत देती है और उनको बोर्ड बनाती है। और इस बार तो एक कैंडिडेट कांग्रेस का जीता है। इसी कारण, इसी का बदला लेने की भावना से इन लोगों ने ये कार्य किया। और गौरव पथ आज से नहीं 4 सालों से लंबित था, 4 सालों से वो प्रस्तावित था, लेकिन अभी तक उसको इसी कारणवश बनाया नहीं जा रहा था कि बहुत बड़ी संख्या में लोगों के मकान, दुकान उस क्षेत्र में, उस रास्ते में आ रहे थे। सरकार का दायित्व नहीं है क्या? सरकार की जिम्मेदारी नहीं? राजस्थान में सरकार की कांग्रेस सरकार है और एक कांग्रेस सरकार अपने दायित्व,
कांग्रेस सरकार की जिम्मेदारी तो बनती है सर, लेकिन मुद्दा ये उठ रहा है कि जो लोकल बॉडी है जिसने ये अल्टीमेटली डेमोलिशन ऑर्डर करी है, वो तो भाजपा के कंट्रोल में है।
मंदिर का किया क्या? उस डेमोलिशन ऑर्डर को आप पढ़ लीजिएगा, मैं भी भेज दूंगा। उसने अतिक्रमण हटाने की बात कही थी, लेकिन जहां मंदिर है, जहां कोई भी धर्म के पूजनीय स्थान क्यों ना हो, वहां पर पूरे विधि विधान से बातचीत करके लोगों से उनको पुनर्स्थापित करना चाहिए था। पहले वहां के एसडीएम ने जिस प्रकार से
किसको करना
सरकार को करना चाहिए था, सरकार को करना चाहिए था, क्योंकि सरकार ने जानबूझकर इस कृतज्ञ को अंजाम दिया है। क्योंकि सरकार वहां पर कांग्रेस की, वहां पर बोर्ड कांग्रेस का नहीं है और सरकार ने उस बोर्ड की मीटिंग का हवाला लेते हुए, ताकि ये उस बोर्ड की मीटिंग का एक माध्यम पकड़ते हुए सरकार ने मास्टर प्लान का हवाला लेते हुए इस कर्तव्य को करने का कार्य किया है। और पूरी की पूरी जिम्मेदारी वहाँ के एसडीएम की है। ईओ अधिकारी कौन है? इनका लगाया हुआ है। ईओ जो विधायक का जानकार रिश्तेदार है, विधायक का जानकार रिश्तेदार है। यहाँ पर कलेक्टर जो है सरकार के द्वारा नियुक्त किया गया है। बोर्ड की मीटिंग का से पहले
कागज दिखा रहे हैं बालकनाथ जी, वो कह रहे हैं उनके पास कागजात है।
को नहीं देखना चाहिए था, अधिकारियों को नहीं देखना चाहिए था।
बालकनाथ जी, सांसद महोदय, मैं आपको कुछ कागज दिखाता हूँ, क्यों जनता के सामने इतना झूठ बोलते हैं? देखिए,
गलती तो आप जांच करो ना, इसकी जांच करो, जो भी दोषी है उनको सजा दो।
आप तो दोषी हमें कैसे कह रहे हैं बिना जांच के?
आपने
आप कांग्रेस सरकार पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं, जबकि आरोपित आप हैं। अब मैं सच्चाई बताता हूँ यहाँ पे। देखिए, ये एक कागज है, ये इनके भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लेटर हेड पर, देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लेटर हेड पर इनके नेता ने लिख के दिया है। वो ये लिख के देते हैं, पूरा पढ़ लीजिए।
मिनट्स भी हमारे पास है,
उनमें मिनट्स भी दिखा रहा हूँ मैं यहाँ पे आपको।
वो कागजात दिखा रहे हैं अभी, जिसमें वो कह रहे हैं
आपके लोगों ने शिव मंदिर के ऊपर जिस प्रकार से हमबर चलाकर, जिस प्रकार से ड्रिल मशीन चलाकर और जिस क्रूरता के साथ में, जिस अमानवीयता के साथ में आपके लोगों ने उस मंदिर का विध्वंस किया है, वो उसके लिए आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए और आपको माफी मांगनी चाहिए देश के लोगों से।
बालकनाथ जी, आप सांसद महोदय हैं और आपको मैं सच्चाई से अवगत कराता हूँ। 2 मिनट सुनिए। ये मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि दिनांक, ये एक नगर पालिका राजगढ़ का आदेश है जो आपके नेताओं ने जारी किया।
बालकनाथ जी, आप अपनी बात रख चुके हैं, हमें सुनने तो दीजिए कि स्वर्णिम जी क्या कह रहे हैं। आपने अपनी बात रख दी है, हमने आपकी बात सुन ली है।
झूठ बोले जा रहे हैं।
आप वरिष्ठ सांसद हैं, 1 मिनट उनकी बात सुन तो लीजिए। 1 मिनट उनकी बात सुन लीजिए। आप दोनों कागजात दिखा रहे हैं हमें स्क्रीन पर, अनफॉर्चुनेटली कोई कागज पर।
इफ्तार पार्टी के लिए निमंत्रण भेजती है कि इफ्तार पार्टी होगी। क्या हिंदू नहीं रहते राजस्थान के अंदर? उनका क्या नवरात्रि का त्योहार नहीं था? उस समय तो आपने फतवा जारी कर दिया कि
आप पता नहीं बात को कहां से कहां ले गए हैं। हम ये पर्टिकुलर जो कंट्रोवर्सी है भाजपा और कांग्रेस के बीच में, उसकी बात कर रहे हैं। स्वर्णिम जी अपनी बात रखना चाहते हैं, उनकी बात तो सुनिए।
बिल्कुल, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, सुनिए। ये बार बार कांग्रेस पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं और सच्चाई मैं बताता हूं आपको। सबसे पहली सच्चाई तो यह है कि वहां पे 2 मंदिर थे, एक निजी मंदिर और एक पुराना मंदिर। निजी मंदिर के मूर्तियों को खुद हटाया वहां के पुजारी ने, नोटिस मिलने के बाद। किसका नोटिस? नगर पालिका का नोटिस, सरकार का नहीं। नगर पालिका के नोटिस को मिलने के बाद उसने हटाया। और दूसरा मंदिर जो है उसका गर्भगृह है जहां पे मूर्ति स्थापित होती है, वो अभी भी सुरक्षित है। और अब मैं पढ़ के बताता हूं जो बालकनाथ जी साहब सवाल पूछेगा। ये लेटर है दिनांक 13/4/2022।
नहीं, आपका पॉइंट क्या है? मेरे पास समय बहुत कम है। स्वर्णिम जी, आपका पॉइंट क्या है?
हाँ, ये लेटर, इसमें ये लिखते हैं इनकी नगर पालिका कि हम ये मार्गाधिकार को प्राप्त करने में बाधा बन रहे निर्माण संपत्तियों को दिनांक 17/4/2022 को हटाए जाने की कार्रवाई।
जी, वो कह रहे हैं कि उनके पास पूरा नोटिस की कॉपी है, वो पढ़ रहे हैं उसमें से।
नहीं, नोटिस नहीं, ये ऑर्डर है।
ऑर्डर की कॉपी है, सॉरी, ऑर्डर की कॉपी है।
बिल्कुल, ये ऑर्डर जारी किया नगर पालिका ने, नगर पालिका ने जारी किया और नगर पालिका ने कह रही है कि हम इसको तोड़ने 7 बजे जा रहे हैं।
Well, clearly, like I said, this has become a huge political controversy in Rajasthan. I'm afraid I'm completely out of time. Mr. Balaknath and Swarnim, Thank you both very much for joining us on NDTV. We have to take a short break here. We'll be back with a lot more on the other side.